come on, come on. Ah, you finally picked up. For a while there, it seemed like you were never going to. Oh, damn it. I didn't even say hello to you. I already sound like a jerk, don't I? I swear, this isn't how I usually start conversations. It's just, I've been trying to reach you about something important. The longer I stayed on the line, the more anxious I got. Then when you answered, I blurted out the first thing that came to mind. I know it's not an excuse for jumping down your throat like that, and I'm so sorry. Uh, that's true. I could have texted. Um, Most people would have if they were in this situation, huh? To be honest, though, I'm more of a caller. If being a caller is old fashioned, then I guess that's what I am. It's okay, you can laugh. I get teased about it all the time, so I'm used to it at this point. No, I agree with you. Texting is super convenient, and like any normal human, I do it too, but I prefer the back and forth of a verbal conversation. At least that way, I don't have to read between the lines, you know? When I'm reading a text, I never know how to interpret a person's tone. Unless they end their sentence with emoji or a haha or lol, then I have no idea what they mean. I'm already an overthinker, so adding that extra layer of doubt just makes it worse. See, now you're starting to get it. Yes, in addition to being a caller, I'm also a rambler. I could go on and on about any topic, no matter how obscure it is. It's not something I'm proud of, but you know the saying, old habits die hard. Thankfully, most people don't seem to mind it that much. Uh, oh? You find my rambling endearing? Um, Thank you. No one has ever said that to me before, so it's kind of nice to hear. As much as I'd like to continue rambling, I should probably get back to why I called you in the first place. Oh, right, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm really screwing this up, aren't I? Well, I'm glad you don't think so. Anyway, here goes. Hi, my name is MAIITO. We were on the same flight together. You know, the one coming from Naples. That's the reason why I'm calling you. Apparently, you and I have identical looking suitcases. When I was at the baggage claim, I thought I had reached for mine, but it was yours that I grabbed by mistake. Unfortunately, I didn't notice until I got home. I took a closer look at it, and that's when I found your information on the luggage tag. Since I have your suitcase, I think you might have mine. Just to be on the safe side, could you please check the tag? Thank you. Oh, thank goodness you have it. I really wasn't looking forward to hauling my ass to the airport to search for the damn thing. Yeah, that's definitely not how I want to spend the rest of my day. Now that we're certain that we have each other's suitcases, the next step would be to meet to switch them back. Does that sound okay? Perfect. We could meet somewhere in the middle. Well, how would you feel if we went to a coffee shop? It's been a long day, and I'm in desperate need of some caffeine. Yeah? You'd like to? Great! As for coffee shops, I recommend the one on 32nd Street. It's called Espresso di Amore, and it's centrally located, so we should both make it there without any issues. You've been there before? Huh. What a small world. Most people have no idea what I'm talking about when I mention it. I know it's not Starbucks, but it should still be given a fair chance. Exactly! I've never been a fan of mainstream things either. If something is considered indie or if it can only be found locally, then I'm all for it. Although, I have to admit, that place eats up way too much of my paycheck. If I'm not spending money on coffee, then I'm buying pastries from their large selection. You too, huh? I don't blame you in the slightest. Everything they serve is addicting. It's a problem, not gonna lie. You know, you may be a regular, but I doubt that you go there as often as I do. I'm there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. No way. You're messing with me. Oh, come on. I'm supposed to believe that you're also there 3 days a week? I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who does that. Either people visit every day or they occasionally drop by. It's rare when someone has a schedule that's between those options. Okay, this is either a coincidence or you're an agent who's been keeping tabs on me. I have nothing to hide. Oh, yeah? I'd like to see you try to weasel information out of me. You have your ways? Seriously, though, it's wild that we have a similar schedule. So, which days are yours? Ah, I see. Considering that we have alternating days, it's no wonder that we've never run into each other before. You're right. We're not gonna miss each other today, that's for sure. Speaking of which, I'm about to head out. I'll see you soon. Hello. I take it that you're the one who I've been talking to? It wasn't that hard to figure out. First, you look a bit familiar. I remember seeing you briefly inside the airport. And second, the item you have with you is a dead giveaway. It's not every day that you see someone in an establishment like this wheeling around a suitcase that matches yours, right down to the brand and the color of the tag. Yeah, clearly we have the same taste in luggage and coffee shops. There are worse things to have in common, I suppose. It's nice to formally meet you, too. And again, I'm sorry about earlier. Well, regardless, I still appreciate your kindness and patience. Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. No, it's nothing, I promise. Are you gonna make me say it? Alright, fine. Ever since I glanced at you in the baggage claim, I haven't been able to look away. You're very attractive. God, that was so embarrassing. Can we just move on from my horrible attempt at flirting? Come on, please. Great. Now you're laughing. That really doesn't help my ego at all. Stop it. When you say things like that, of course I'm gonna blush. I'm reacting this way because no one has ever complimented me like you just did. I mean, past partners have, but outside of them, nope. I get appreciative glances every now and then from random people, but that's about it. Thank you. I'm glad that you find me easy on the eyes. You know, you're kind of disarming. I tend to be a dork most of the time, but I'm not normally this bad. You seem to bring out this unbearably awkward side of me. I'm not sure who's the stranger one here. Me for being a complete dork, or you for having a thing for dorks. Yeah, I guess we're both a bit strange. Otherwise, we might not have ended up in this situation. Ah, speaking of which, here's your suitcase. I didn't unzip it, so everything should be intact. No worries. And thank you for keeping mine safe. Wait, before you go, I was wondering if you'd like to have coffee with me? If you'd rather not, or if you have other plans, it's totally fine. I'd understand. It's just... we're here already, right? It seems like a waste to swap our suitcases and then move on. Plus, you're a lovely and charming person, and I'd like the opportunity to get to know you a little bit more, if you're comfortable with that. Based on the way that you're smiling and nodding, may I assume that's a yes? Sweet. If you can find us a table, then I'll order our beverages. Nah, don't worry about it. I got it. Of course, I'm sure. I'm the one who invited you, after all. It's my pleasure. What can I get for you? A person after my own heart. The cappuccinos here are amazing. In fact, they almost rival the ones in Italy. I know, it's a blasphemous thing to say, but hey, it's the truth. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. If you don't mind, could you take my suitcase with you? I don't think I can wheel that thing around and handle 2 cups. Thank you. I'll come find you as soon as the drinks are ready. Here we go. 1 cappuccino for you, and 1 macchiato for me. Cheers. Wow, you're already starting on the questions. There's no beating around the bush with you, is there? Don't worry about it. It's fine. To answer your question, it was a wedding that brought me to Italy, actually. A friend from college got married, and he wanted me to be there for his big day. I had some vacation days piled up at work, so I decided to use them. Best decision ever. I had never visited that country before, and I'm so glad I finally got a chance to. Every place that I saw was breathtaking. Of course I took photos. About half my camera roll is full thanks to that trip. I flew in a week early, so most of my photos are from my little adventures. The rest are from the wedding itself, of course. That's another good question. I spent most of my time in Sorrento, but I took day trips to a few of the surrounding areas. The wedding, however, was in a small coastal town called Amalfi. Most people have heard of the Amalfi Coast, but few know that there's an actual town with that name. Oh, what's with the smug grin? You have family in Amalfi. Okay, your smile makes sense now. Jeez, I feel like an idiot for telling you about the town when you're already familiar with it. Gee, thanks. For someone so pleasant and easy to talk to, it's astonishing how good you are at wounding my ego. So was your family the reason why you were in Italy, or were you visiting them, or what? I see. Your grandfather's second marriage was to an Italian woman. She owns a lemon grove, which has grown into a huge business. And even though she specializes in the production of limoncello, she also uses the lemons for other things like jam and honeys. Every summer since you were 14, you traveled to Italy to help her with anything she needed. Wow. That seems like such a cool experience. What's it like working there? Oh, I bet. I think I'd enjoy something like that, especially if I'm surrounded by a citrusy aroma every day. You know, I'm curious though. Do you get to sample any of the products, or do you have to keep it all for the tourists to purchase? Oh, that's awesome that you get to taste test everything before she sells it. It all sounds delicious. Actually, I wasn't a limoncello drinker before the trip. I'd heard of it, but I never thought to try it. So when I arrived in Sorrento, every restaurant had complimentary shots of limoncello, so I always took one. Now I know how good it is. Luckily for me, my friend served limoncello at his wedding, and each guest got to take home a couple bottles. They're in my suitcase. I'd rather not dig them out now since they're so carefully wrapped, but you could see a photo I took of the bottles. Give me 1 second. Have you heard of this brand before? Why are you laughing? No way. I can't believe this is your grandmother's limoncello. What are the odds that Luca would serve this at his wedding? You're furrowing your eyebrows like you're trying to figure something out. Is everything alright? My friend's name is Luca Moretti. He was an international student at the university here in town. During our first year, we shared a class together and became fast friends. After we graduated, he moved back to Italy and met the person who's now his spouse. Your expression keeps shifting and you can't stop moving around in your seat. What's going on? No. You can't be serious. You and Luca are childhood friends? How is that possible? You're saying you met Luca the first time you traveled to Italy. The two of you spent your summers hanging out in the lemon grove. You're the reason why he decided to study at our university. You had your sights set on that school for the longest time, so you told him about it. And he was excited about the idea because he wanted to explore a place outside of his homeland. You agreed to both apply, and if you were accepted, you'd go together? If all of that is true, then how come I never saw you around the university? Surely I would have if the two of you were supposedly inseparable. Oh, I didn't realize that was the reason why. I'm so sorry. That must have been difficult to navigate. Unrequited love usually is. No, of course I don't blame you. If you didn't return his feelings, then that's that. You can't force yourself to feel something for someone when you don't. It wasn't like you let him on or dated him out of pity. Those options would have been far worse than what you did, which was to gently let him down. When it comes to situations like that, the best thing you can do is to be honest. At least that way, both people can move forward instead of remaining stuck in a weird limbo. Exactly. The in-between is the worst place to be. So even though it can be painful to pick a side, sometimes you just have to. Yeah, I can see how that experience would be painful for the both of you. If you don't mind me asking, did your friendship dissolve when he confessed his feelings for you this summer before classes started? Okay. It wasn't permanently damaged, but things were very awkward after that, yeah. No wonder he never mentioned you. He probably didn't want me to know. Come to think of it, he didn't date anyone until our 3rd year. After our fall finals that year, we decided to go to a massive party to blow off some steam. And that was the first time he actually looked at someone with anything resembling romantic interest. Funny enough, he found a lovely person that night, and they dated until graduation. You met his partner? That's surprising. I thought the two of you didn't really speak anymore. Got it. You patched things up with Luca during the final year of school. Okay. That makes sense, considering I saw a lot less of him then. At the time, I didn't think much of it because I assumed he was with his partner, but I guess he also was hanging out with you. That's good that the two of you are on better terms now. I take it that's why he was allowed to serve your grandmother's limoncello at his wedding. Well, I, for one, am grateful that you worked things out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to taste that limoncello, and what a shame that would have been. Let's face it, that liquor is to die for. Don't give me that indignant look. You know it's true. As much as you enjoy it, you're good for a while? Why is that? You're saying you had a bit too much of it over the weekend? You were instructed by your grandmother to bring cases upon cases of it to the reception, but you had your own personal stash that you drank from? Wait. Hang on. Hang on a second. You were at the wedding? No, it's not that I think you're making it up. It's just crazy that once again we happen to be in the same place at the same time. Why are you showing me your phone? Photographic evidence, you say? Alright then. Let's see what you got. There you are with Luca, both holding glasses of limoncello. It's a nice picture of you two. You both look happy. No, I'm not laughing at you at all. I'm laughing because I was just reminded of something. It's kinda ridiculous. I'm not sure if you'd want to hear it. Fine, if you insist. Have you ever heard of the story of the red thread of fate? Since you haven't, I'll explain it. There are different variations of the story, but the main point of each one is that every person on Earth is connected to someone else through a red thread. One end of the thread is attached to an individual's finger, and the other end is attached to the finger of the person they're destined to be with. It can take years for someone to find their other half, and during that time the thread can stretch, tangle, and wither, but it's never broken. It's always there, making sure that both people can find each other no matter what. Sure, you can think of it that way. People who are attached by the thread are basically soulmates. This might sound insane because we literally just met, but I think maybe I was always meant to find you. If you think about it, we have all these things that tie us together. Over the years, we've had so many opportunities to meet, and yet, for some reason or another, we didn't. Until now. Look, I'm not gonna rush into this and say you're my soulmate or anything. That would be way too intense right now. But, I think that if we get to know each other more and see where things go, we could develop something that would be worth hanging on to. This is, of course, subject to your thoughts and feelings about it. If this is something you'd want to explore, then we can, and if not, that's okay too. You do? You want to? I can't explain it either. This feeling, it's a little unnerving, but in a good way, I promise. Yes, it's almost like some thread keeps pulling us towards each other. Crazy, right? I know I said we should take things slow, but if you keep looking at me like that, with those shining eyes and that soft, alluring smile, then I can't be held liable for what happens next. Oh, you want me to buy you dinner first, huh? I think that can be arranged. Yes, we can absolutely go now. What do you have in mind? You are after my heart, aren't you? The place you just named happens to be my favorite bistro. Maybe the universe is trying to tell us something after all. That's true. If it weren't for this accidental luggage mix-up, who knows how long it would have taken us to meet. I'm glad that it happened too. I think dinner awaits us now, and luckily for us, the restaurant is just around the corner, so we can walk to it after we put away our suitcases. So, shall we? Of course you can take my hand. Lead the way.